Alright, welcome back to another stream of Disco Elysium with our very first playthrough. And yeah, the continuation of our viewer influence kind of like run. We are on the third day currently at about noontime, and definitely had some breakthroughs in the investigation, at least, you know, for Harry's standards. For instance, we found finally our actual police badge and secured, you know, important details about ourselves, essentially you could say, like our actual full name. And it's also good because nobody can actually, you know, extort us or like negotiate with us about some of our stuff being missing. So yeah, that's definitely a good start, I would say. Also, hello there, Mr. Goody. Welcome in. And good day. Hope you've been having a nice weekend. Hello there, Ave. Welcome in. And good day to you as well. I'm doing alright, thank you. Yeah, I've been a bit exhausted from the weekend. Had a long day yesterday. Went to my grandfather's funeral, unfortunately. But yeah, he's been struggling for a while, you know. So at the end it was kind of like being thankful for that he could go in kind of like a peaceful manner. But yeah, that was definitely kind of heavy yesterday. Intense day for sure, but it was also good to be able to say goodbye. Also, what is Kim doing? He's like walking through the air. And he spawned back. Yeah, so he was 85 when he died recently. So definitely quite an old age. But yeah, he kind of had like multiple, you know, like heart attacks like 2 years ago. And there was like a lot of kind of like health stuff that, you know, was affecting him because he didn't really go to a doctor very regularly. You know, he always like, I guess he tried to avoid, you know, seeing the doctor for too long. And then some of the issues kind of like piled up and ultimately, you know, affected him altogether. And yeah, it's been like massively declining, you know, in the past 2 years. Even like, you know, losing a leg and some really not so great stuff, you know. And yeah, it was good that, you know, didn't have like any pain at the end. And that he could also like, you know, die in the arms of his loved ones. Because not everyone gets to, you know, have it, of course. Thanks, Ave. And thank you also for sharing, you know, what you said about your grandfather as well. But yeah, it's a very similar situation, I would say, you know, for how it's been kind of like affecting my grandfather. Definitely has been through quite a lot in those 2 years. But yeah, as for me, you know, I'm definitely doing well. It's mostly, you know, the people that I know are directly like, you know, in his like living situation that I have like concerns about, you know, like my grandmother. Yeah, grandmother and my uncle mostly. Because they were kind of like living with him. And yeah, they've been also like caring for him the past 2 years. So I'm gonna try to kind of like be there for them, you know, like try to support them in the next couple of months for sure. See that they're landing back on their feet. Also, Mr. Goody, thank you so much for the 10 stream streak. Thanks for being there and for snatching the first every time.
You're trash.
You're trash. You're trash, citizen. Yeah, exactly, Avi. think you did, Mr. Goody. Was definitely the first 1 or 2 minutes. The fastest first tamer in the Wild West.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Take a closer look.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
It might be a clue.
A clue? You think our suspect is a seagull who's been defecating on unsuspecting jacket?
No.
Me neither.
You should still take it.
A filthy jacket. With seagull shit on top. Perfect. That's the hottest fashion.
Knock, knock.
Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. Hello, I'm selling these fine Hobocop accessories. Or do you? Maybe some trousers with bird shit on them? Because they're really missing in my current setup of clothing. How's it going, Rod? Thank you so much for joining. I hope the rest of Batman Arkham City went well today. I reckon you got to finish the game? Was currently out of stock. We ran out of budget. Oh no. Yeah, it can be tough in these times, you know, finding enough budget. Because the Hobocop look has become quite, you know, famous within the general population. At least in these parts. It's getting to a point where it's become difficult to distinguish between Hobocops and Hobo citizens. I wonder if I could actually fall here, if I go across these rotten floorworks. Oh, very nice, Rod, that's awesome. GG's on finishing City. Yeah, Arkham Knight I really liked, I have to say. I thought the gameplay was great. I did actually like the controls on the Batmobile, but they could of course be, you know, a bit clunky and massive sometimes, feeling. But I kind of like the inclusion of that. And yeah, like gameplay and graphically, you know, very much the peak in the series in some regards.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Planet Earth is hereby renamed Hobo Globe. I like it. What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency, that faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear.
Kim, what's that smell?
The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
Eyes up, detective. Something's not right here.
Oh. What's up with you?
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper.
The visuals are awesome. The way the environment looks with the rain, the whole atmosphere was done so well too. That is very true, yeah. It really felt like the next generation, and I guess it is in a way, of those games. And yeah, visually it's still looking really good. I mean, you could bring that game out today and it would still, you know, look amazing.
Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Next it's gonna be the 10th celebration. Yeah, it's crazy to think some of the games that are close to getting 10 years old. Where's time going?
Hold on.
The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. Two bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any sign of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket. We need to investigate.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
Study the man's clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest.
Kebab sauce? That could have been me. You know, eating lots of kebabs here. It's very easy to get some sauce on you, if you're not careful. Because they tend to be very saucy over here. You have like a bunch of different sauces to choose from. Like garlic sauce or hot sauce. In general, like herb sauce. Which are like the most usual ones.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Run! Go! Get to
Good.
the chopper!
We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
Yes, Kim. Summon the helicopter. We need it. Hello there, Torrent. Welcome in. And hey there, Dr. Darling. Welcome in as well. Thank you for the lurk, Avi.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine or 1.5 of spirits. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. Overcome with the awful surprise of it all. He was just about to head home. The first step back home proved to be his last.
Hey there, Arctic. Welcome in. And how's it going? Hello there, Ogoki. Welcome in as well. I'm doing alright, thank you, Arctic. Glad to hear that you're doing well. Yeah, playing a bit more Disco Elysium. We're currently on day 3 of the investigation. So definitely more than halfway through, I would say, at this point. Which is good, because we already spent like 45 hours on this game so far. It's kind of funny, I've been looking up how long to beat for this game. And apparently 46 hours is for like 100% completionist. So it tells a little bit about how slow I've been going. But yeah, since I've been kind of like taking it pretty in-depth, you know, basically investigating anything I came across and just taking time to like read out stuff in the game. That definitely has piled up quite a bit. Plus doing like choices for viewers to participate in. But yeah, I definitely feel like we're getting somewhere now.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is where he came out of himself, drop by drop, when he was unconscious. It took 3, maybe 4 minutes.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. A .75-liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Tear all around us.
He looks at 2 bottles near the coin-operated viewer, then at your yellow plastic bag.
I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, it's technically part of a crime scene. Ava Stardust, welcome in.
True. It feels disrespectful. Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. Careful. The wind blows hard from the east.
That actually started me. Because the game was being so quiet at that time. Hey Vashila. Successfully frightened me. How's it going? And how are you this evening, this weekend? You try not to interrupt any dialogue. Definitely succeeded. Succeeded in that and in startling me. Chill Sunday so far. That's nice. Yeah, same here. Been like sleeping in a little bit.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Had a nice long walk with Levi and the doggo. this morning. It's been pretty cold over here, I have to say. It's definitely like winter is coming. Like the meme. But it's also nice because like really cold like air can be nice, you know, to like breathe in sometimes, I feel. Exactly, Torrent.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
You look south, the way you came.
That's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
At least this man knew how to party. Imagine the same scene without the bottle. Now that would be just sad.
Would it? According to electrochemistry, apparently.
This is an omen, a sign from above. Don't start drinking again.
I like how superstitious Inland Empire is. It's like, this is a sign from above. Well, I'm gonna make this a viewer choice, I guess. So we have, he looks like me. I could have ended up just like him, dead on some empty boardwalk, with a bottle next to my corpse. Then we have 2. What we are witnessing here is the demise of a great party beast. Red leather jacket, an empty vodka bottle. Kiss your fingers. 3. Looks like just another old drunkard to me. And 4. I think labeling him as an alcoholic is a bit premature. We don't know anything yet. So in that case, I will make a choice. I'm gonna go for 1. He looks like me. I could have ended up just like him, dead on some empty boardwalk with a bottle next to my corpse.
Well, at least you're not married.
The lieutenant points at the ring on the man's left hand, a flesh around it, swollen and grey.
Or, what if you are?
But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
After doing the reinstall of Odyssey, all the tweaking and such, and you relearning what's where and so on, you feel old. Hope you guys are doing much better. Have a cold welcome in. Well, I hope you have a good time with Odyssey overall, and you know, I just start to feel less old maybe with time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed very much. But yeah, I'm doing alright, thank you for asking. Playing a bit more Disco Elysium. Definitely feel like I'm getting older playing this war. Because it's been like literally months we've been playing this game now. But yeah, I feel we're definitely making progress now. Finally.
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Could it be related to the lynching?
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Yes, but what if there's a killer on the loose? 2 suspicious deaths in such a short time frame.
Yeah, you're right. Connecting it with a lynching is a stretch.
Without any further evidence, yes.
Do you think he was drunk?
Oh, yes.
What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
What about the kebab?
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the Pox.
Right.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
What should we do with him?
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
Hey, here's the thing, I want to finish the game right, but at the same time, I feel like it's still my responsibility here to try to solve this as much as I can. It might not be my priority case, but it doesn't mean we can, you know, like if we're already going around talking to people, we might as well learn more about Shaw as a result, you know. Solving another murder might give us insight into why so many murders are happening. Also, hello there, Ayat. Welcome in. Good evening. Hello there, Mita. Welcome in as well. And how are you guys doing today?
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the case.
Library card found from the pocket of a dead man on the Martinez boardwalk. It is slightly damp to the touch. The covers bear the stamp of Jamrock Public Library.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53.
Nice, Amita, that's great to hear. And yeah, I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Having a chill and relaxed day over here today. Getting to play some more of this. Wanna make some good progress with the investigation process. And yeah, really try to focus a bit more on the task, I guess, that lead us closer to solving the whole murder. Because there's, you know, like many different things you can do in this game that not necessarily, you know, have much to do with it. And they're intriguing to do. But I feel like at this point, I should really get on my cop game here.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours, 900 to 1800.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
Let's also interact with the filthy jacket that we picked up.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
How did the jacket get so disgusting?
It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it?
Yes. Welcome back, Stardust.
It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it.
Beautiful.
It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore.
I'm gonna be a weirdo and investigate further what the crust is made of.
Somehow, it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk. If not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prowl the beaches at night.
Okay, that's pretty disgusting. I've had enough.
Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck.
Lick your hands.
Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out.
Amazing. I'm gonna smell like bird shit for the rest of the playthrough. Okay, I mean, this is definitely a place where our characters seem to have spent quite a considerable amount of time at some point. It's just like way too many memories and like intrusions by the different, character aspects coming in.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead.
Have you seen the symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
So dramatic. Only for him to say no. Hello there, Oliver. Welcome in. And good day to you.
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
What is junior delinquency?
For Revachol ZOC, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams.
He puts the handkerchief in his coat pocket. What is suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
Inspect the stable. No worries, Amita. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you have a good rest of your day and that the rest of work goes well for you today. If you're streaming later, I might catch you for that. And for those of you that haven't checked out Amita's channel yet, there's a shout out. Would highly recommend checking out his channel if you haven't before. He's currently playing through Skyrim using various different mods. For example, one that turns his character into like a werewolf. And yeah, he's also a big fan of other games like Assassin's Creed. He's also currently playing some Grand Theft Auto 4 for the first time ever. So yeah, some great games over there. Also, if you're a fan of Star Wars Jedi, he's also playing those games. It's a good variety. No worries, Amita. We will catch you next time. Oliver won't be long because you need to go train, but came to say hi. Cheers, Oliver. I appreciate it. Definitely hope you have a good rest of your weekend and a good, ride with a train. Hope it all works out smoothly with a connection.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
This is where Mr. Prybar comes in handy.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
Nah, I don't know what you mean. A bit more mistreatment can't really hurt. In the grand scheme of things. Hello there, Brutus. Welcome in. And good morning. Welcome back again, Stardust.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
Should we start with that kick drum coming from the eyes? I heard a sound before.
Yes, the pulsing bass. A sure sign of junior delinquency, somewhere east of here.
Let's inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
right at the doors to see if they open.
Nothing happens. Only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
I don't think that's going to work.
High above, the wind wraps the church in its rush, cold and wet from the ocean bay. It parts around the massive keel-shaped roof, like a test tunnel washing both sides, the way it has done for 340 years. The wind keeps its distance. So should you.
What is this feeling?
There is a hole in my heart.
The lieutenant looks at the padlock. He didn't hear you asking. You were quiet enough.
Okay, I'm gonna make this a viewer choice here. Gonna only trigger one of these choices of the last three here. So either trying the interface roll dice, try to peel off a sticker without ripping it. Then we could apply some official force on the padlock with a very low 3% chance, but I could equip the pry bar actually, because that would increase our chance quite a bit further.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
So now it's a 97% chance. So yeah, let's make it a viewer choice. Between choice 6, 7 and 8. Okay, it's gonna be choice number 7 here. Apply some official force on the padlock.
You jam the pry bar between the lock and the staple and apply force. Your biceps bulge from the strain. The metal creaks and squeals. The pathetic old wood, rusty screws, and one nail stand no chance against the forces of leverage. From deep within, a bellow rips. Suddenly, the pry bar snaps. Metal shavings fly everywhere. The upper half, between the lock and the staple, falls to the ground with a thunk.
Nice. We actually ruined our pry bar. It's kind of funny that we succeeded in the choice. But mostly, you know, we succeeded in making the decision. More like. Not so much in actually, you know, prying it successfully. The fuck? How's this even possible?
Tools break, officer. Try to control yourself.
For example, see how calm I am, although you broke my favorite pry bar.
Look at the broken tool in your hand.
The broken edge of the snapped pry bar is smooth. Took the tip right off. A bad omen. Beware of this church.
Another bad omen? There's quite a few of them on this peninsula. So where do I get a new one?
I don't know. You don't? Or maybe we'll find a new one. I don't carry more than one pry bar with me.
Looks up at the bell tower.
I thought this was a lousy way to enter a place of worship that's already in disrepair. I guess the church agreed.
Yeah, not wrong there. Let's try to peel off a sticker.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
I can put the sticker on the cover. Yeah, let's put it in the ledger after the last entry where it belongs.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
ledger? For me?
Looks like I have a new letter.
Looks like I have a new ledger. So much money. I'm rich.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
You wanna party? Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I have a hat on.
You don't have to do anything.
I should and I do. Point at my hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Right, you didn't notice my like huge Japanese style straw hat. It's nice, you should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises. What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Huh. So even though I have a pretty decent like authority level, it's still like a super low chance of succeeding here. And it's also like a red check, which means we can't retry this. It's like a once or done. A hat? Who does this guy think he is? Ronnie? Yeah, I'm role-playing Ronnie here in this game. Whatever we do, we're always wearing at least one type of hat. Fuck the hat. No, the hat stays. Exactly. It's too glorious looking. But yeah, let's see if we can succeed here. I'm gonna make it a viewer choice either way though. So we have Eva trying to regain authority in her eyes with a 17% chance of success. Or is that kind of language really necessary? Okay, it's 50-50 split, which means I'm gonna make the choice here. And I want to see what happens if I use authority. Especially if I fail. It might actually turn out to be a funny situation.
Your eyes are fixed on her as everything gets very still. Dangerously so.
Interesting. We actually succeeded. Excuse me, what did you just say?
She looks down, pretending to be busy with the device.
Well, I guess you successfully defended the head.
Make her meet your eyes. The kid isn't arrogant. She's just afraid to look you in the eye. You already put her in her place.
Jesus Christ. Now this is getting pretty abusive. I'm the police. You would do well to avoid this kind of language with me.
You're right. I shouldn't have sworn. I'm sorry.
She looks up like a scolded schoolgirl. Her ears concealed beneath thick makeup.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. Most men wouldn't exactly call her pretty. There is a manliness to her, a coarseness.
Now, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
What's your name?
Estelle.
And your surname?
Why?
It's for the paperwork?
Okay. It's Berger.
You have little reason to doubt that's her real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
What are you doing out here in the court?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it that you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Is she like recording some samples? And what are these recordings for? The cracks and the footsteps?
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
I mean, that's pretty dope. I do love the use of like sampling in like modern beats. Of course, you know, sampling is just like a general term, you know, described to just, you know, kind of like have already created kind of like music pieces or like recordings of instruments or like quotes or whatever, you know, like different sounds. And putting them together in like a collage almost type of way. I guess technically, you know, like having the sound of like a kick drum would already be a sample in that sense. But the term can be applied to like so many more. But, you know, really like focusing on like creating entire like music pieces out of like, you know, only samples. That you're not just like, you know, having on hand, but that you like actively try to seek out the sound of. It's pretty fascinating, I think. Like the whole like sampling culture in a way. It's a pretty cool format actually on YouTube for beatmakers. Where kind of like famous beatmakers, I guess, are asked kind of like go into their favorite vinyl shop or whatever they fancy. And kind of blindfold themselves and then pick out like 3 random records. And then they have to basically use only the records and kind of like bits and pieces of like the different songs on these albums to kind of like shape into new songs. And I guess beats. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be like a music place anyway. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, your call.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
This is where hats would come in handy. What? I have to give her my hat? My beautiful hat? But to be fair, it would prove me right though, wouldn't it? That she needs a hat. And given that she's participating in the process of beat making, I think she kinda deserves it. It's like, you know, feeling like Arthur giving the hat to John in the end of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Thanks.
It would be cool though if she would actually, you know, put it on. At least like, you know, visually in the game. It's a bit large for her. You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is it?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure. Yeah, Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Like what?
Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold. Go ahead.
Tell me about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the ports. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here, not in a million years.
So what is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Like, what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you two are cops.
Why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
Sure. I mean, I want to talk to everyone pretty much. Because we're all like, you know, paint more of a picture of understanding, you know, Revachol, its culture, its people. and their motives.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Did you put the padlock on the church door?
No,
No?
not really. No.
So this isn't yours? Show the sticker in your ledger.
It's Noid's.
Is this Noid a friend of yours?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
So why did this Noid person put a padlock on the church door?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about him, he'll tell ya. Go ahead.
You seem surprisingly comfortable with being questioned. Why is that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revershaw experience they get east of the river.
What's east of a river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
Yeah, good to know. I guess. It's kind of funny, you know, whenever we have like the choice like this, where it's like 4 different kind of like stances on like a certain topic. You know, this case, like, what's our stance in regards to the, you know, rich or upper class, you know? It's like, yeah, I don't really care, you know, but there's like a district of like rich people, you know, just good to know. But that doesn't mean I have to make like a political statement about like rich people in general. But yeah, good to know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I will try the empathy choice here.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry to sit here on the ice, feeling miserable, at your age or at any age in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It is easier to live in their failure with this by your side. Tap on the tape recorder.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It is not a childish fantasy, it can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
The dark.
I know. I'll stick to it.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
You said eating me? There's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess there's something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no one understands that sometimes you've got to make sacrifices for the sake of progress. It's all very distressing.
So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress?
Yeah, let's just talk about something else here.
Sure.
What's the device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
Got it.
Okay.
Actually, that's it for now.
Okay. Bye.
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
Push the Eternite over.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Ah yeah, so there's place for me, huh? But not for her. I see how it is.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Well, let's squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
Didn't just wanna party or listen to some new music.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
Fair enough.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
This is something else.
Now that's this kind of new music they're talking about, huh?
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret,
Hardcore!
We're an embarrassment to him.
Say nothing.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega!
Say nothing.
Internally coherent.
Say nothing.
Encore! All right! Yeah!
Say
he
nothing.
furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
lets out an organized roar over the febo-ish, obviously not to a hardcore beat below. So hardcore. Remember this from Rod's playthrough? I mean, it would be difficult to forget Egghead once you encounter the dudes. He looks back and says, "You're an embarrassment to him." Have a good night, Mr. Goody. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you have a good rest and a good night. And wishing you a good time at the gym tomorrow.
Is it though?
Now he's questioning it. I was just thinking that a moment ago.
One mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life.
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Thanks for the lurk, Mr. Goody.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, I'd shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably Nordic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
How many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Was this something you wanted? Your friend Zoe said there was a problem with the church.
Oh, so you've met her? Good. Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
Even the guardsmen protect the girls and boys.
Protects the boys and the girls and boys.
Let them not remain motionless. Let them not corrupt.
Yes. Not gonna stay motionless. It's gonna, bump his fist like that for the next couple of hours. I'm just gonna stay here. Enough histrionics. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended. Dopeheads! Burnouts!
He angrily spits on the screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol. Strike that! The world! And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are.
Non-stop? Yeah. Also kind of funny, Egghead with the German accent. The word. You haven't decided what, for Arkham Knight yet whether to go for the actual ending or not. But as you go through the game, you do whatever Riddler stuff you can find, and doing some stuff on stream as well, just in case you decide to go through with it. That's definitely fair. But, you know, I haven't made a full decision yet about it. Might also be something that you could see like during the playthrough. Or might be like something that works out well time-wise. You know, kind of like see how it goes with like also how much of Riddler stuff you do like naturally, I guess, in the game. The Arno dance. I try to imagine Arno just standing in the middle of his tent here and just dancing like that. Wouldn't even mind. I feel like he may be laying this on a bit thick. What's really so bad about those dope heads and burnouts?
They're spooky.
Spookiness is not a matter for police investigation.
You know, officer, you really should judge that for yourself. But keep in mind, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
This accent. Of course, the only really annoying stuff is the Riddler parts because of how time consuming they are. That is true. Especially the ones for the bad mobile. You know, we have to like do the races. Just like one tiny mistake and you can basically restart from the beginning. Welcome back, Avi.
Thank you, Egghead.
Hello back, I'm Sheila.
So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
Yeah, I mean, get me the task.
All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Zell told me Noid put the padlock on the door. Why?
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden cool infused move, tossing it in your general direction. So we could try going for reaction speed. If a cool cop, catch the key as it flies towards you. Or we can just let it fall to the ground and pick it up like a normal adult person. Gonna make a severe choice, so let's see. Avi, you have now finished Fallen Order on the hardest difficulty. Got all the trophies except for 2, which you do next time. You require another playthrough and you don't feel like doing that now. That's definitely fair. You know, when you have those that require like multiple playthroughs. And like different ways of approaching certain scenarios in the game. But that's awesome, dude. GG's on finishing the game on the hardest difficulty. I bet it wasn't overly easy, was it? I know some people really struggle with the harder difficulties. Choose the hardcore option. Well, I guess we will. Gonna try our luck with reaction speed here.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left.
Nice. Success.
Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Thanks, man. Play cool.
The speed freak nods to you. A respectful nod. You proved something here.
The respectful nods. Oh, it reminds me of a nod competition with Kim in the last stream. That shit was freaking funny. I gotcha, Avi. It's like a bit more of a casual, like, Swords-like experience, I guess, in a way. That makes sense, definitely. You know, for like a kind of like game in a franchise like Star Wars. Because you still want to make sure that, you know, no one is getting to a point where we become like super frustrated. That's nice if there's like a, you know, amount of like depth to the combat. The guy that keeps saying hardcore, yeah. Whenever he said hardcore, I was just like saying nothing. And he just kept repeating himself over and over. How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
A week? You just locked them in for a week? How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Jesus. 85% is not good enough when you're dealing with another person's physical well-being.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're sorry? Jesus.
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that.
The German with a hardcore accent.
Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
What's the deal with Egghead? I want to talk to him.
He's a quiet man. Mostly communicates through music. And by being a master of ceremonies.
He's an MC. Which basically, you know, is like the early form of like rapping. Back when we had the first parties with like 2 record players, you know, and then like switching back to back with vinyls, or like playing like the drum sequence in a loop on one vinyl and then like, you know, the melody of another track on the other. They were usually accompanied by like masters of ceremony that were like standing next to the DJ doing it. And then like, you know, basically saying stuff like, you know, clap your hands or stuff like that, you know, more like kind of like guiding the people dancing to music in a way. And that eventually evolved into like, you know, what we understand as rapping. So maybe these are the early forms of like rapping in Disco Elysium. That was hardcore. It really was. Or was it? So how do you communicate with him?
Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Have you ever really talked to him?
Yeah, sometimes. When I like stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
Hardcore to the mega. The. That's a proper German pronunciation.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself.
You mentioned some ecclesias, Ome Church. What are these?
Oh yeah, That's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
And what is this founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know? I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization.
Good. Now let's talk about something else.
Yes?
Who exactly are the people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved?
Well, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
For this man, even regular silence is awful enough. But that was something greater.
But you haven't physically seen anyone?
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
Of hardcore has two parts, the heart and the core. I really wonder if we actually get them successfully in the church eventually and then participate in one of the parties. But first we have to see if the people that were supposed to be inside the church are even alive at this point.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
I talked to Noid then.
Good idea.
Let's talk about something else.
What?
That's it for now.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good.
Skin shows through the holes of the Speed Freak's too large sweater. In front of him, an open toolbox full of carpentry tools and parts.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
He runs his hand through his hair, which is combed back in mock seriousness, and continues to fiddle with some gears. Sign?
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Interesting.
I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
Hello there, Lucinda. Welcome in. And good morning. Thank you so much for the resub as well. Ada. Hope you've been having a nice weekend so far. Rodnoid is related to annoyed and also paranoid. I saw a sticker on the padlock. Can you tell me anything about it?
A sticker? You mean the yellow one? Can you describe it to me?
It's this one. Are you familiar with it?
Seems like my creation has found its way into the legal bureaucracy. What did you want to ask about it?
What it's supposed to be.
The dead guy smiling.
And what does it mean? Why is the dead guy smiling?
He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history, we are always already dead. How can we ever smile then? Because history is alive.
The leeches would
So
probably
is
agree,
death.
though I'm not sure about them. Much rather trust in God and the power of prayer. Usually try both to be safe.
I mean, better try both just to be safe.
The present moment and life are the hardcore. The hardcore expels death. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats.
Or drugged out of his mind, come to think of it.
He could also be drugged out of his mind.
Or drunk. Or in a clinical coma. Or glad to be dead. But those versions suck.
I think we've exhausted the subject for now.
I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing. But what for?
Listen, your weekend is going well. Yesterday you were able to use your work time to grab money in Thief to buy an OP perk to showcase on your next Thief stream. Oh yeah, that's awesome. And that's definitely nice, you know, if you can kind of like combine being on work with, you know, being productive in some other regards as well. If you get like a break or something in. That's really cool. Today I have plans to have a nice prime rib steak lunch with former work friends from the hospital. That's really cool as well. I hope you enjoy it. I love rib steaks. Super delicious. I do like it with like butter and like herbs on top. But that's cool that you still like, you know, reconnect with your former colleagues from the hospital. Gonna make some raclette tonight, which is kind of like, I guess, cooking while eating type of like, you know, eating experience. You kind of like have a sort of like grill, and underneath the grill you have like pockets, I guess, where you can like put in vegetables and cheese and stuff and kind of like melt it. And then on the grill you can like grill, you know, meats and like vegetables and all that other stuff you might be interested in. And then you can kind of like cook your own food while eating in a way. You know, what's like cooking there. So it's like a good kind of thing to have like small portions and kind of like sit down and just like talk and then, you know, keep on eating in a way. It's not really something we do like often, but it's definitely a nice occasion. That sounds delicious. You have heard of it? Nice. It's pretty cool. It's definitely nice when you get like, you know, also to decide like what's in what portion at a time. It's like very customizable. What about now? Are the signs alright now?
Nah. Still strongly out of sync. Stage gamma disalignment.
What?
You heard me.
Tell me about the machines you saw in the church.
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery.
Desynchronized. Still not in sync. The signs are standing on a bad way.
Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
What is wrong with the supernatural?
Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it, though.
The sickest. That's perhaps why it should be researched.
It's supernatural, so you think it's real, but it actually exists?
Most of it doesn't exist, but there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist, because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
Why are you called Noid?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
He picks up some sort of widget.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Does this mean we need sign matching?
Yes. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be by getting us into the church.
Ah yeah, I'm sure that would definitely get our sign closer together. If I just do what you want. Couldn't resist redeem. I mean, it was couldn't have been more fitting either, considering like literally, you know, talks about synchronization. Okay, I think we're done here for now. Time to open the church. Can I talk to Kim about what happened inside? Because he wasn't there technically.
Yes?
Oh, I guess not.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Open the padlock with a key.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
The lieutenant nods at you.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Oh damn. Look at that painting. Or painted glass, I guess. The environments are so good in this game, I have to say. Really beautiful. A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. This grotesque wooden figure looks half-finished. It's like it's trying to become one with the church. More of a fog lightning pattern you saw outside. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. The spider spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. A cracked pane of glass, colorful. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A figure drawn in frost on the window, depicting a deer. And we also have the Mecha Beano's prescription lenses. giving us +2 encyclopedia, but -1 perception. Versus currently we have +1 visual calculus. I mean, technically this would be better, I would say. But I wouldn't mind wearing glasses that more like focus on boosting the stats we already, you know, are quite good in. So mostly like psyche and physique options. Like the Gemrock Biker Cop Sunnies, because they give us +1 empathy. So I'm gonna go for those here. A huge red scarf. Bangers on Cry. This huge red scarf is still dusty from lying in the church. A subtle red on red embroidery embellishes it with a cocky roosters and mask floral motifs. Well, I gotta say, I don't like the look of it together with our other clothing options here. Didn't understand a single word there. You didn't? So I gotta choose a new hat because we kinda gave ours away to the girl outside in the court. That's what you get for being or trying to be nice. I mean, this hat is beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with no hat for now.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore.
A very futuristic hat. The other hat. Yeah, it really is. That's the type of hat that Ronnie could wear the next time he plays like a futuristic type of game.
Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I could still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Yell as loud as you can, or stomp your feet and clap your hands. Well, gotta make this a viewer choice. Should we yell?
Insane, partner.
Should we yell or should we stomp and clap? And yeah, I think Harry truly is a bit insane.
Good sir, spare some coins, please. Just a few.
Just a few. Speaking of which, I actually have enough money to pay guard for the hotel room this night again. And it's not even 3 PM. We're getting rich. For Cyberpunk 2077, he definitely could. I think that might be actually a game that would be really cool for Ronnie, because I do know that he really likes first-person shooters. Because when I first saw him stream, he was like doing lots of Titanfall 2 and Team Fortress 2. And of course he likes cinematic and kind of like very well-written games, and that certainly also checks out.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
Oh, I guess you also gotta yell as loud as you can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving.
If I wanted to hear you talk shit, I'd gouge out your tongue and shove it up your ass. Now fuck off.
Okay, Eva. I'm gonna go already. That's probably one of the most savage insults that Eva has ever said in that game, I will have to say. Kim, what's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Don't hold back, Eva. Yeah, he just keeps on going. When you think he's finished, he's not quiet.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing, and it's beginning to worry me.
The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is.
It's probably nothing, just our imagination.
Maybe. Darkness often has that effect on people.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Well, try to see beyond the shadows.
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
Follow the shadow's movements.
It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
The lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you are seeing.
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go?
On the ceiling?
Yes. The darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. It's climbing. Climbing down, holding on the beams.
Blink.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes.
Gollum? My precious.
Maybe it's possible to talk to it. The shadow is a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently.
Say nothing, be quiet for now.
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
Did not expect that. Ah, jeez.
Why? Never mind. I don't want to know.
Exactly. It's like, I don't even want to know what this man does and why he's here. What his whole shtick is. The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, She would take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Yeah, I guess I have a bit of a problem, and it's been getting out of hand lately, but...
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence, and you don't even know it.
I'm very in touch with my suffering. Believe me.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
It's all well and good, but we need to talk about the unlicensed occupation of ecclesiastic property.
The only thing we need to talk about is how the mother can really help you, Holmes.
His voice echoes in the cold air of a church.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
This Mother of Silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you find out what you're dealing with.
Do you know where the other spooker is? Point of the strange machines around you.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Wait, so there is another person living in the church? And it's Viejita?
No. I just call her Viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
And you don't know where she is?
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who is she?
I'm afraid not, Ese. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He shrugs.
Or search through her radio computer.
Did you just climb down from the church tower?
Sure did, Holmes.
Are you human? You weren't moving like a human.
I am. At least in part, Holmes. Until the mother's love burns away the cruel distinctions of the body.
A body is only crude so long as it's unformed, son. That's where your training comes in.
My body is my church.
Tell him, son. Show him you're not going to be bent out of shape by his philosophies.
I think having a body is great. I don't want to burn away any of its distinctions. Fully leaning into a physical instrument here.
That's because you so through and through with Al Ghul, bro. Keeps you heavy and grounded. then fools you into thinking that's a good thing. If you was to surrender to the mother, you know, get a taste of seraphic existence, you never want to go back.
Are you a boyardero?
A boyardero? No, Holmes. I don't go in for that kind of thing. It's all about surrendering to the mother now.
You sound like you're not from around here.
Haven't you ever met a Mex before? Cabron. Surprising number of us around Ravishop.
What's a mask?
You know. I'm not so sure myself anymore. Don't really matter though.
Well, at least you're human. That's a relief.
Glad you're feeling more comfortable. First timers are always nervous.
Okay, I have other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Who's this mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, Ese. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, at one with the state of the world before reality began.
How did you even find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
Are these yours? Show 'em the scarf and shoes you found lying around.
I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't need them anymore.
This guy? He's like on his way to becoming a wise golem. You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Faith is a kind of drug.
I heard that before, Way. And I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
Ah yeah, that's a good argument, you know. Not like anything can become like a drug or like an obsession. In a way, you know. But yeah, I mean, as long as you don't have a hangover, you know, that would of course be the only reason. Hello, Versona. Welcome in. Good day to you.
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
I think love might have been my drug of choice, and I think I'm still hungover from it.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out.
I was being insensitive, sorry. Let's move on.
No worries, man. I know this shit takes time.
Literally the sorriest cop in the world. New achievement. I said sorry so much that I actually got an achievement for it. Right, I had other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
You've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me.
So what do you think about the nightclub it is?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
Okay, I didn't expect him to actually be fine with it. It'd be kind of funny to have like a nightclub here and this guy is like chilling in the ceiling. It's kind of like absurd situation in a way.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Well, okay then, thanks. I guess that is all cleared up. A portable Harman Woshi tape recorder.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
A radio computer. And it's turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to Kim. For now. Someone's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. 2 decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
No.
Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you.
Yeah, if God wanted us to kneel, he wouldn't have given us feet and legs.
As if under a microscope.
Look up.
The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse?
It's, morning.
As that terrible word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles, her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
Who is this Kim?
It's Dolores Day. The old woman was right. This is the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the Small Paimo Church in some records.
You know of a place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Lesetsa, they call them, the 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
He looks at the machinery lying around.
There it is again. A small pang of guilt. It's time to ask him what happened here.
Do you know why it was abandoned?
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here.
Who conducted this raid?
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
You're not sure?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I look around. I guess I could have been here.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
If I was here, I should find out why and what I was doing.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
Hello there, Mita. Welcome back again. And yeah, it's going pretty good. We've been meeting some party people, playing some electronic beats, and they now want to open up a nightclub in this church that we're currently investigating. And I think nothing stands in the way of like a nightclub coming in here into the church now. The person living here who's basically a non-materialist. So much so that he also discarded all of his clothes and is like walking around the ceiling. Indeed. Time to work in the shit factory. But yeah, they agreed to live together in this living situation of a nightclub. That NPC code is actually also from this game. Okay, I'm gonna try Encyclopedia and Visual Calculus. They're both white checks, so we can come back tomorrow, for instance, and try again.
It's a mystery sprinkled with self-pity and regret. For some reason, unknown to your mind, looking at her delicate eyes makes you feel like you're ready for drowning. All you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should go. Do something else. Escape her sad, worry-worn look.
Reconstruct the cracked glass.
The shards glimmer in the dark. You see little pearls of light on the edges of the crack that splits the female figure. Something was written there. Remains of broken letters line the emulsion. What it said, you do not know.
Okay, run away for now.
Huh? I see you're here again. Off-sign, man. Did I mention getting us into the church would help?
The young man with the tape recorder acknowledges your return. When he looks at you, he squints as though you were the setting sun.
This is hardcore.
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibber-dee, skibber-danger. I am the rearranger.
Ah, fucking hell.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this. What to do?
Hi again. So, how are things going?
He looks excited. The tips of his hair are sharp and white. The bleach has consumed almost all of the toothbrush on the mirror in front of him. Above the church, I checked it out.
And? What happened?
I talked to a shadow-clad being climbed the beams. A man living in the ceiling.
Oh man, the crab man you mean? Who is he? What did you think?
Seemed okay, to be honest. Very spiritual.
Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
Just preaching and praying from the looks of it.
No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
Actually, you told me it wouldn't mind the nightclub at all.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
Nah, I don't know what you mean. It sounds like a perfect, living situation. Don't worry, I don't think he really gives a damn about you or anyone else.
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Yeah!
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her?
I didn't see the other spooker, just some machines.
But she's in there somewhere. Has to be. Have you tried investigating the machines? Anyway, do let us know if you see her.
I wanted to ask you about this 10-foot of equipment.
Yes. What?
Also, give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. He's British? Yeah, it's a British, a German, and not sure what no it is. At least like accent-wise, yeah. Of course in this universe they're not really, representing the same nations. No worries, Amita, whatsoever. Thank you again for dropping by. And yeah, maybe catch you later. What's with all the nose of fat?
The what now?
The Nosefed Ultra, you have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra. I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
Right. You sound fine to me. Thanks for giving a shout out there to Amita as well, Rod.
Yes, that's all Nosefed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosefed is the shit.
I have some nose problems too. Sure. Good, now on to the next thing.
Yes. What?
I hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
He picks up a piece of telephone cord and inspects it. Worst smell ever. Why?
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid?
No.
It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent, like laundry detergent.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. A shrug is good enough for us. Why say it when you can shrug it?
I see you brought your own water.
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scattered the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
And it's distilled too.
Oh.
He doesn't know what to say.
It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
Alright, enough of this.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Wow, we could try the logic option with a very low 3% chance. And that's even though we already have +1 from unexplained Eva smell and the unexplained nose effect. But yeah, we have a logic start of 1, so that makes it a very low chance here. Gonna make it a viewer choice whether or not we will trigger this or if we're just gonna leave for now. So between 5 and 6 there. Alright, in that case we're gonna just leave it for now and maybe try later, once our chance is a bit higher.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
Huh? I see you here again.
Ah yeah, we have another skip point here we could invest. So like maybe another fort. But I could start internalizing here. Well, we only have some kind of superstar currently as an option, but it's not really one I want to embrace. Currently you have White Morning, the volumetric shit compressor, the inexplicable feminist agenda, the Kingdom of Conscious, the apricot chewing gum scented one, the rigorous self-critique, the anti-object task force, the Jamai Vu, derealization, and the Gemrock shuffle. But yeah, I'm gonna wait until we get to choose another fort here before we invest another skip point or spot there. But yeah, that means I could, for example, focus further on Esprit de Corps, which kind of like helps in the connection with Kim, you know, understanding his stance as a lieutenant of a police force better. I think I might want to invest into suggestion a little bit. Charm man and woman, Play the Puppet Master. The Forever Searcher looking for Charles Lee. Gotta meet Connor to be able to internalize that thought.
The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the sea ice. She looks up as you approach.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
I will help you, alright?
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
I would like to know more about your associates.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
Just answer the question, please.
Sorry. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
What about you? Tell me something about yourself.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
Okay, maybe I'll ask later about all of this.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
I mean, to be fair, we already got into a point where she sees us as an equal. I'm a bit surprised that we don't get to talk to her about this stuff. But maybe, you know, we have to first kind of like get her to view us as an equal and then ultimately as like something close as a friend. So I reckon once you maybe, you know, get them inside the church, that will change. I would think so. But yeah, I guess I really gotta investigate those spookers in the church. Kim kind of didn't want us to, but I'm just gonna do it.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity. The lieutenant doesn't say anything, but you can sense that he doesn't like you meddling with the machine.
Let me just investigate it.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Look inside the compartment.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March.
Press play.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Oh no, it was already glowing and now it's also making a sound? It's probably some alien CO-like technology. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeat Station 1. Please repeat, is this the personal log?
What is the personal log?
The filament you have inserted
Such
into
violence
the
in the
core.
world. So little room for love and beauty.
So much violence. Well, at least in Assassin's Creed. But I think Ezio makes a good balance of violence and love and beauty. He tries to keep those things in balance whenever possible. Lots of violence in the orchestra too. That is correct, yeah. Well, right. Thank you for the explanation, I guess.
That was a question. Have you inserted it into the car?
Yes.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
Didn't they teach you anything, idiot?
They didn't teach me the password at least. I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Let's finish with a call for now.
Fortress accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Yeah, I gotta talk to the dude here again before we can try.
Oh, hey, Wayne. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Have you by any chance heard the Viejita say the password to a radio computer?
Too many times, Esse. You need it for something.
No need to overdo it. He won't mind sharing it with you.
Yeah, just tell me the password.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
Afterlife death.
That is true. But what comes after death?
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Niñita Pequeña when I hear it. I think we're done here, Esse.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
Well, maybe gonna find out, Kim. You and me both.
The machine's keyboard is still. The speaker comes.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident on San. Good. Please repeat.
Okay, the password is afterlife death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
What's Fortress Accident?
The company on whose name the terminal you're currently using has been registered to.
Do you have any information about this company?
One moment.
You hear flip through a catalog before she reads out with studious care.
Fortress Accident SCF produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
And what's that, this interactive core and radio game?
Any other questions?
Okay, I think we're done here.
Goodbye, Fortress Accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Press print.
The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Let's read the printout.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Let's read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
Let's read the third entry.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking Eska series, something advanced.
Why would she need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting it with his boot. Read the fourth entry.
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers, but at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked.
The writers are fucked. It's Batman.
I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
The data loss?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Oh, let's read the fifth entry then.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder.
Well, Kim, who was saying that this has nothing to do with the investigation? I mean, it might not, but it might still give us another angle of direct documentation of the time of a murder.
Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
Read the sixth entry.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
The lieutenant looks to his right, towards the silence. Read the seventh entry.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
But what could it be? Look at the water basins behind you.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples.
Read the eighth entry.
March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good. I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
She must be describing a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
Read the 9th entry.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Jesus. She does look a bit interesting. Suna, the programmer, just straight up ignores us.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
We're here on a side case representing certain music venue organizers.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. We have a machine were back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Well, it's a question of when she will successfully have rebooted the machine.
What is it?
I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
It doesn't look like a big loss to her. Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
She turns back to the terminal. So what are you doing in this abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
There's a hint of amusement in her tired eyes. I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask questions.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
She says, ready to stand her ground. What kind of research?
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
A hole in the world. What does that mean exactly?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
She's suddenly absorbed in the conversation, waiting for your answer.
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
I don't know. I'm not here for some science. I just want to solve a murder so I can go home.
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
She grows silent, staring at her circle of basins. It looks like some ancient ritual.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts, in everyday parlance.
Does it have anything to do with ghosts?
Ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't believe in ghosts.
What do you think that the qualities nothing has is redacted? I agree. It's definitely of a redacted nature. What about other supernatural entities?
I don't believe in them either.
That's probably wise not believing in them.
Great. What are we talking about? And why?
You said the research isn't going well. Why not?
Because it's just trial and error. Trying to locate the swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
Okay then.
Great. Thanks.
Okay, we're just gonna leave her in peace for now. Ah, yeah, we have another skill point we could invest here. Let's actually max out conceptualization. Understand creativity, see art in the world. It's definitely nice seeing that the Monday task list has become much shorter at this point. But yeah, there's still so many things we can do here. So it's gonna be a while, I think. Until we're done with everything I still kinda wanna do. But depends, there's of course a chance that I might solve the murder before I'm getting to finish all of the other tasks to have open here. But yeah, one thing we definitely have to remember next time we get to the past 9 PM, kinda like saying goodnight to Kim point, is going back to the rooftop apartment on the Words and Rags and talk to a woman there, the apparent sexual assault victim, because once Kim isn't with us, she's actually ready to talk about more kind of details on her relationships to some of the Hardy boys, I think. So that's something I have to remember, because it didn't last night in the day with the game. But yeah, I guess next time we will focus on getting this whole like raver and shirt situation sorted out, and then I would actually like to go back to you know, the main Rever Show Martinet area and revisit some characters there, and also the Words and Rex, because there's definitely some white checks we can try again. We can also still try to kick out Measurehead, because that choice has become available again. But now with Physical Instrument kind of like maxed out, I think we have a good chance on succeeding. But yeah, what's gonna happen next time though? For today, this is gonna be everything I will be doing. So let me go ahead and have a save here. And let's have a look and see who's online and who we can maybe shoot a raid today.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Here we go again. But yeah, I would like to thank you all for coming by and for joining me for more of Disco Elysium. The next stream you'll see from me will be probably Tuesday, actually, because I might have some time Tuesday afternoon for a short stream, so I might throw in another Disco Elysium session there. And I guess the next longer stream would be on Wednesday with more Valhalla. And yeah, we're actually making our way to Jorvik this time. So going into the north of England. No worries, Rod, for the stream. Thank you so much for being here. And thanks also again. I was about to say for the raid, but then I was like, never mind, you didn't raid me today. I think we're already done with your stream when I went live. But yeah, thank you for the other raids, though, I guess. No worries, Brutus. Thank you for being here too, dude. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Cheers, Avi. Thank you also so much for being here. I hope you also have a good evening. And hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye, Dr. Darling. Have a good one. I'll catch you in the next one. Or probably at Rod's tomorrow. Damn, so many people online. The choices are endless. But yeah, it's a really popular streaming time right now, I think. Well, I think we're gonna go and say hi to Maxi. Maxi is playing a bit of The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. A game that I think looks amazing and really immersive. So yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going for him, how he's enjoying it so far. If you would like to join us with a raid over to Maxi, feel free to copy and paste those raid emotes. And yeah, I will catch you again on Tuesday with more of Disco Elysium. And then on Wednesday for more AC Valhalla. Until then, I hope you all have a good rest of your day and weekend. And I will catch you in the next one.